Hi, welcome to my channel, Takoyaki Tarot. Today is November 5th, my birthday. It's my birthday today. Today is November 5th, Tuesday, 2024. So, before I get started, I want to remind anyone that's watching that these messages are not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. If they resonate with you, gives you clarity, great. If it does not, then don't force it to be your story. So, I do have to get a little bit of sage going on, but it's my birthday today. So they're doing like yard work outside, but I think they just stopped. They're always doing yard work. Alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling cards. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna open up with one of these, and I haven't done that in a while. One of my Bible verses. I love these cards. I think they were like on sale. I got them at Walmart. Okay. I keep hearing the moon, the moon, the moon and the stars, the moon, the moon, the moon and the stars. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. John 1:1. I feel like this is something about promises. Something about God keeping his promise to you. Promises, multiple. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Yeah, I feel like this is I feel like this is just talking about like God's promise to you, or God had made a promise to you, or God is keeping a promise. God's keeping the promise to you, a promise from the beginning that was made to you from the very beginning. And I feel like now is like the time that like in this moment, this is like in this moment right now in time, God is like fulfilling his promise to you. And a lot of that has to do because you two have met God where you're supposed to be, so where that way God can give you this promise, can follow through on, you know, the promise that was made to you. I'm also hearing in the background like the promised land. I'm not really gonna get into that, only because it's like a whole, like the land of the milk and honey, right? I'm not gonna really get into that. Sorry, my phone was just going off. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So it's like my birthday today, right? So my phone's like buzzing with like a bunch of like happy birthdays and blah 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 blah. So of course that makes me feel giddy because it's my birthday today, right? Also, if you want to like send me birthday wishes in the form of CashApp, that'd be welcomed. So, right? Um, so yeah, I just feel like God's fulfilling a promise that was made to you. But it's not like so. Like I said, this is only possible because you two have seen the face of God. This I keep hearing Christos, Christos, but like if you know what that is, then you know what that is. All right. I don't really want to get into that because that's a whole thing. But if you know what Christos is, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Alright, it's literally like alright. Let me get one more, please. Yeah, it's Christos. It's the oil. Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. So heaven would be, yeah. So in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So I feel like that's just like, if you listen, God always fulfills his promises, right? Oh, I feel that in my chest. And so the second one is, to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. So I feel like you just had to go through a bunch of seasons, blah, 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 blah. So now you're able to receive this promise. You're able to like fulfill, or you've fulfilled your end, or you're able to continue on fulfilling what you need to fulfill because you're getting this promise. Now is the time. This is the season, right? Every purpose under heaven. Hold on. Someone's like scraping the ground outside. Or something is being scraped on the ground. I'm also getting that somebody, or this could be you're kind of like scraping something from the bottom of your shoe. You're like scraping it off from the bottom of your shoe, like gunk or like something gross. So you know, like when you step in something gross outside and it's like on the bottom of your shoe, you're like scraping your shoe to get that gross gunky thing off. So you could have like scraped something gross off of you, or you've been working on this, like scraping off the gunk from you. Oof. I don't know if you can hear that. And gratitude, may you honor all that you receive. This is about having gratitude. I mean, these cards that have these backs, they're about having gratitude and appreciation. But the card itself says gratitude. May you honor all that you receive. I feel like you're very, I'm hearing fortuitous. So you could be considered a very lucky person, or you're about to be a very lucky person, because whatever God is about to come through with, it's how fortuitous. Yeah. It's to other people, it might seem very lucky. I feel like this is a very big promise. And I feel like this only happens when you see like the face of God. And it talks about that in the Bible too. So I'm not I don't like to talk just for like shits and giggles, right? I don't like to talk just to fill the air. But I feel like this is why this is happening. You've scraped off the gunk. You've seen the face of God. May you honor all that you receive. I guess I'm gonna use Kipper now. So I feel like this is a very calming, a very relaxed reading. You know? Let me move that. So there we go. I feel like that's better. This is so calming. I know I just said that, but like I can't stress that enough. Like this is very like this is one of the energies that I enjoy being in. Right? Just because of how like relaxed it is. Alright, can I get like one or two? Two, please. Can I get two? One. We got child upright. So this could have to do with like a promise that was made to you when you were a child. Or I feel like in a more general sense, you would be a child of God. So God sees you as their child, like their baby, right? So you will always, you know how like me as a mom. It doesn't matter how old my child gets, that's always going to be my baby, right? So I feel like that's how the Most High God feels about, you know, his children. So I feel like something like that is like, it doesn't matter how old you get, you're always going to be a child of God. But for some of you, I feel like something was promised to you when you were a child. For some of you, you should have gotten that when you were 18. For others of you, you're just now getting that. Or something happened when you were like a teenager and it kind of like derailed you from being on this path, or you from being, I'm hearing, involved in the process of yourself. So it's kind of like something happened where like your own free will was like trying to be taken away, or like you couldn't make sound choices, or you were, I don't know, I feel like it's like a derailment. Like something happened where you were derailed purposely, deliberately, not by yourself, 1331, but like from like an outside force. It could have been like a family member, friend, an entity, a spirit, demon, whatever the case it is. Some sort of influence like deliberately derailed you from being on this path, so that way you can receive the promise that was promised to you by the Most High God, right? But I feel like that didn't last too long, because here we are, all right? But I do feel like for a lot of you, and for a lot of you too, like if you didn't get this, I guess in a way vicariously you would be getting it through your children. So like just because you didn't get this inheritance, it's okay, right? Because your children are going to get it, and that's ultimately that's kind of how like it should be a lot of the times. Like for example, like if you didn't have a specific childhood, right, or if you didn't have XYZ during childhood, right, so you do everything you can in your adulthood to make sure that your children gets XYZ or has XYZ in their childhood, right? What the heck? Hold on. Oh my god. All right, I thought I stopped the recording, but it's just, we're good. All right, so it's like that. But I do feel like for a lot of you, it's still going to you. Granted, but that's still good though, because it goes to you, and then, you know, it gets passed down directly to your children. So either way, this is good. whether it goes to you or to your children, right? And if you're a good parent, then you want nothing but the best for your children, like in a healthy, non-greedy, stingy kind of way, right? So either way, this is good. All right, what else? You could be divine feminine or divine masculine, but the card is a little girl, right? Or maybe you were just like so masculine that you're just now able to like be in touch with like that childlike energy of yours, where it doesn't matter like what if kids play it's a child. Or if, like, for example, my child, they like to play with dinosaurs and Barbies, right? So it doesn't really matter. So if you were a divine masculine, it's kind of like you were like reprimanded for playing with toys that you shouldn't have been playing with, right? Like, only play with cars and dinosaurs, right? And of course that's gonna like make you feel some type of way as you grow up, and like make you view things a certain way, and be just overly men don't cry and shit like that, stuff like that. Right? That's just like something in the side note, like in the background. Alright, let me get one more. I feel like I'm missing something else with the card. Poverty. Okay. So for a lot of you, the reason why you're so grateful for the things that you have now is because you could have grown up in poverty. You could have had a very... The childhood wasn't like, I don't know, you could have been one of those children that were like struggling and, you know, grew up in poverty, go to bed hungry, couldn't afford the bills. I mean, and that's not you, obviously, that's your parents. Like, you could have grown up in environments like that where your parents couldn't afford XYZ, right? I feel like wow, that's gonna sound really messed up to say, but I feel like for a lot of you, that was kind of like a test from God to see like how you would grow up to be. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. So I feel like growing up being poor and struggling and just very a lack childhood, I guess, in a way, financially, physically, materialistically, right? That just made you be more gratuitous of what you have today in your life, right? So I feel like for a lot of you, because of that, you were, even through all those tough times, right? Because you ever see like in movies a lot too, like those orphan kids or like those really poor, dirty kids, but somehow they're still very like hopeful and like imaginative and let's go on adventure, right? And like they just be making the best out of it. Like they find a rusty can and they kick the can and they can have fun for hours, right? It's like their environment does not put a damper on their spirit, okay? So I feel like for a lot of you, depending on your childhood, you still kept hope alive. You still have that childlike wonder, that innocent spirit to you, right? Which is, it's like you're able to just find gratitude, right? And like in those shows and movies, like you give it like a piece of bread to like one of those kids and they're like, yes, I'm so grateful for this piece of bread. Thank you so much, right? So it's like that. So you could be like that today. Even today you could be like that, right? Well, at least I have food on the table, I'm good, right? That's gratitude. You're having gratitude and you appreciate what you have and you're grateful for the Most High God. So I feel like because of that, God's just like fulfilling his promise. It's a promise that was made to you. I feel like for a lot of you too, if you were supposed to, I mean, I feel like for a lot of you, you're still able to do this, but for a lot of you, there must have been certain family members of yours that were nosy about your destiny or about your future or whatever the case is. So they looked into you, right? And here's the thing. People only look into you when they're curious, when they can feel it inside of them that something is just a little bit different about you, right? So they get curious and then they get nosy, right? So they look into you somehow, some way. They'll look into you, and they'll see that you have XYZ in store for you for your future, right? So for some of you, it was your own family members that deliberately derailed you so that you wouldn't come into this promise that was promised to you by the Most High God. This was a great promise. This is a great, wonderful promise where you would be considered so lucky, so fortunate, right? So for some of you, it was your own family members that they looked into you when you were a child because they were curious about you, because they just felt like something was a little bit different about you in a good way, where they felt threatened, right? Like, I kid you not, I see this all the time. Adults, it's so, you'd be surprised how many adults there are that are jealous of children. It's so crazy. It's true. It happens. There are actual adults, grown up, who are jealous of babies and children and kids and even teenagers, right? So they will deliberately do things just so that way that adult can still feel inferior. But I feel like for a lot of you, it was a family member, a close family member of yours that deliberately tried to derail you from being able to receive this promise from the Most High God. But again, like I said, that didn't last very long because you're still getting it, right? And for some of you, if you feel like you're not getting it, your children are going to get it, right? If you don't have children and you don't want children, I hate to say it, but this is probably not for you. And I'm not trying to be mean, but this is really more about lineage, right? Generations, right? So if you don't have children and you don't want children, this is most likely not for you, because this is only for like the generational lineage, right? Because it's like children are the future. And if you're not having children, then you're not exactly producing anything for the future. You're not exactly helping the betterment of mankind, like, in the future. So you gotta be realistic, okay? So I'm not trying to be mean, but if you don't have children and you don't want children, this is not exactly for you, all right? Because this is for the betterment of the future. Your gifts and your abilities, they get passed down like your inheritances. They get passed down to your children, and your children do the best they can with that, and then their children, and then their children, and then their children. All right? This is really about the betterment of mankind. Whatever this is that you're getting, it's to use it for the betterment, right? To be a service of humanity, to help heal, right? Help grow. So, if you don't have children, and you're like, well, I'm not having children, I don't want children, blah, blah, blah. That's okay, that's fine. But just know that this is exactly, this might not be for you. All right, but that's okay, because there are tons of other stories and reads, and you probably have other purposes. I don't know. I don't know you. It's like, right? One second. Hold on. All right, so that's that. I was also getting like something about like a destiny swap. So like if there was a particular family member of yours that was curious, they tried to destiny swap to either take this for themselves or take your destiny to give it to their children. That didn't work, because God's like, no, my promise is to this child specifically. Right? Not your children, not for you, not for them, not for her, not for him, not for whatever. It's for this person, this child right here. All right? And of course, it gets passed down to your children, and then your children's children. And then I feel like my wings are like burning. Like something on my back. All right, I'm going to get like 3, and then I'm gonna move on to tarot. I've also been hearing a lot lately, never let your left hand know that your right hand is giving. So there's like this thing where like if your left hand is itching, you have to give away money, or you're going to give away money. If your right palm is itching, you're going to receive money. You're going to receive something. All right. But there's something in the Bible where it says, don't let your left hand know. No, don't let your right hand know. No. Don't let your left hand know. Something, hold on, let me look it up. So I feel like the reason why that's coming up is because there could be people around you that are curious as to what you're getting. What this thing is. What is it that you're getting? Is it money? Is it a gift? Is it an ability? Is it a house? Is it a car? Is it a home? Is it a job? Is it a promotion? Is it this? Is it that? Is it that? There are people around you that they want to know what your right hand is receiving. And they also, they because your right hand is the hand that receives. So they want to know what you're getting, what you have. So it's Matthew 6:3. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. I feel like there's something weird going on too, because it's like there are people that want to know what you have, but you can't. Those would be like the left hands. You can't exactly let them know what you have, because first of all, if you're too busy looking in someone else's pocket, like that's a red flag right there, because you should never be worried about what someone else has in their pocket unless you're going to help them out, right? But if you're looking to see what they have in their pocket to see what you can take, that's a problem. So I feel like these are like left hands. Don't, whatever it is that you're getting, receiving, or currently have, I don't think you should be telling people or talking to people or letting anybody know what it is that you have, because they're just going to see what they can take or see what, you would be willing to give them. I was watching this video, and this girl, right? It's so crazy. This girl, her grandfather had left the granddaughter specifically, about 200,000 pounds, right? And everybody else in her family started treating her like crap and being mean to her and this and that. And then like her mom in the video was like demanding that she go to the bank. And the girl was like recording the conversation. She's like, why do I need to go to the bank? And the mom was like, well, because we just got a new roof and it needs to be paid, and it's about 10,000 pounds. And the girl's like, I'm not paying 10,000 pounds for a new roof that you need. And that's crazy, because it's like people will really do that. I'm also getting like, if it's not money, it's something where they'll want to exploit. So if it's like a gift or a skill that you can do, like for some people will notice that their child is an amazing singer. And then there are those parents that will exploit their own child just so that way they can live vicariously and, live in luxury off of their child, which is pretty sick, right? You hear it all the time. It happens all the time. It's not a thing that doesn't exist. Unfortunately, it does, right? So if it's not like money, it's like a talent, a skill, an ability that you have, right? That you also, it may be wise for you to not exactly speak upon these things, just because there's always somebody lurking around the corner to see how they can exploit you, all right? So just be cautious. I feel like this is somebody in your family, because Cersei and Jaime Lannister were siblings. They were brother and sister. And it says they share the same secret as Cersei and Jaime Lannister would take her to the grave. So it may not be this is same exact secret. So Cersei and Jaime Lannister, they're from Game of Thrones. Cersei, she's like, she did whatever she did to be the queen, right? And she has like this weird relationship with her brother. I'm not gonna get into that, but I feel like what the secret is like, it's like So her brother obviously knows everything that she's done to be in a position of power. So it's kind of like there's somebody in your family who did everything they possibly can to steal your destiny, to steal your inheritance. And another family of yours, they know exactly what person A has been doing or has done to steal your destiny or to steal your inheritance, right? And it's a secret that they both share. And they're not going to talk about it. They're not going to tell anybody. But I do feel like somebody, I didn't listen to my intuition, repeating cycles. So somebody didn't want you to listen to your intuition, and they wanted you to be repeating cycles so that you would miss out on your destiny, so that way you would miss out on this inheritance, this promise that was promised to you, right? It's kind of like, it was like I feel like this promise goes way back, way back in your lineage, like in your ancestry line. This, like, for example, like this promise was specifically given to like a great grandmother of yours, right? And it's like you, even if you have siblings or not, like it's you specifically. There's something about your DNA that like matches, like it's, this promise is like encoded in your DNA. So if you have like brothers and sisters, it's not going to go to them, it's going to go to you, right? This is a promise that's like, it goes back for like, I'm hearing eons. This is an old promise that you're like going to be able to fulfill now. But somebody didn't want you to listen to your intuition and repeat this cycle of like missing out. So I feel like for a lot of you, like if this promise was given forever ago, my wings are itching again. If this promise was given like forever ago, right, there could have been family members, like a specific family member that was always there to like derail the promise. The next generation, that family member would be reincarnated and specifically there to be derailing that promise. And then again, it's like a cycle over and over again, right? But for some reason with you in this lifetime, you broke some sort of cycle and you started listening to your intuition. Like you stopped running from God. So now you're able to finally, right? I feel like that word finally is with weight. Like finally, you're able to fulfill and receive this promise. All right? Because it says, I didn't listen to my intuition, repeating cycles. So this is a family member that's been like following you to try. And here's the thing too. It's so crazy because I feel like if it's like a family member, it might be a spirit that's just been following you for like ever, or following wherever this destiny is going, like whoever it goes to, right? Trying to follow the destiny. But it's so interesting because I feel like something is telling me that even though, like, for example, you're now able to receive this promise, right? Because in the past life you couldn't, your ancestor couldn't. It's so interesting because even though whatever the spirit, whoever this family member was that was able to derail the promise, they didn't even get the promise either. 3322. If they were able to derail the destiny and the past life, they never got it. Right? So they tried again, they never got it. Tried again, never got it. Tried again, never got it. Tried again, never got it. So it's kind of like redundant that they keep doing this and they're still not getting anything. But at this point, it's just like, well, if they're not going to get it, well, you're definitely not going to get it, just because like it doesn't matter if they're not getting it, because at that point it was just like, well, if they're not going to get it, they're going to make sure that you don't get it. But it's changing, things changed, because you're definitely getting this. It's happening, right? It's already in progress. So this is definitely a family member or like a spirit that was in a specific family member of yours, and there are two family members that know of this, right? What I was going to say before I got cut off, so the one family member that knows, so family member B knows exactly what family member A has been up to. I feel like family member B is like, they don't want to be around family member A. I feel like family member B might like say something to you, but not like tell you what was going on, but they might just like give you a warning. Not like, oh, you better give up your destiny. Not like that. It's just more like, hey, maybe you should watch out for so and so, you know. And you're gonna be like, well, why? I don't know. They're just weird, or like they be doing funny stuff, or I don't know, I would just watch my back around them. Something like that. It's like a warning. Let me get 2 more. This is part of your purpose. It came out. So I feel like it was like part of your purpose to like kind of, I hate to say, but to kind of like grow up in poverty, just so you can be more appreciative of the things that you have, be more mindful of the things that you have, right? Be more aware of like the value of things. All right. There's something also about money here. So like if you grew up very, very poor, you knew how to make $20 stretch, right? Versus somebody who grew up with money, $20 is like $1 to them, so it doesn't really matter. But like I feel like that was, you needed to know the value of like money and know how to like make it worthwhile. All right. I got 2, so I think I'm good with those. Mentally unstable, he's obsessed with you. So this is a masculine family member that is mentally unstable and obsessed with you, which is weird, because I do feel like in the show Game of Thrones, Jaime Lannister, which is Cersei's brother, I feel like at one point he was like a little like obsessed with his own sister in a romantic kind of way. All right, so whoever this masculine family member of yours is, they're like not right in the head, and they're obsessed with you. It could be obsessed with like your spirit, your purpose, your destiny, right? What you're about to receive. It's my birthday today. I'm gonna be saying that all day. You can't talk to me like that. It's my birthday. Sorry, hold on. It's my birthday today, so my phone's like buzzing. Any other day, when my phone buzzes, I'm just like, no. But on my birthday, I'm like, yay. Right? And then the next day, I'm just like, no. Alright, so now I'm going to jump into some tarot. I need a minute because I need to figure something out. Hold on. All right. It's biscuits. Stones? Hold on. Let me just get a card out first. It's my birthday. Alright, it's not gonna let me because I'm not paying attention to that. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay. What was that? Was that the tower? That Five of Pentacles upright. So somebody's I feel like I'm getting two things. I'm not taking it out because it just flipped while I was shuffling, and I'd seen it, but it didn't come out, so it's not. But I'm going to talk about it because I seen it. I seen it. Right? Okay, so Five of Pentacles upright. I feel like the whole point of this was to make you feel left out in the cold, make you feel like trying to pull you away from your destiny, right? But I feel like God did everything possibly, like it's like if they were trying to pull you away from a door that you were supposed to open, God made sure that you would pulled right back, right? But the thing is too, it was kind of like there was like a rubber band. I just heard like a really high pitched. There was like a rubber band like around you and this door, but I don't feel like they knew about this, right? Because every time they try to pull you away from the door, you would like be snapped right back in front of it, right? And all you had to do was open that door. It's like God was just waiting for you to open that door, and then when you did, which you did, right now this is yours. But I feel like, yeah, I feel like that was the whole point. Like if they can't have your destiny, then they're gonna make sure that you don't even have your own destiny. This is like a masculine. This could also be because I was talking about something like children and like toys, right? Like how like some parents are like weird with that, like, oh, you're a boy, you should only play with cars and dinosaurs, you can't play with like doll sets or like doctors or baby dolls or whatever like that, right? So that's gonna like really make you feel some type of way as you grow up as a man, like that gentle, nurturing softness. Like you're not supposed to have that in you as a man, but that's not true at all. Like you're supposed to be able to know when to, right? Like for example, like men in healthcare, you can't be a burly, masculine, tomahawk kind of guy like in healthcare when you need to like take care of babies and make sure that the baby's okay, the elderly are okay, sick children, sick women, sick grandpas, whatever, right? You gotta have like bedside manner, and you can't be all like tough up, kids don't cry, men don't cry, we're men. You can't be like that, especially like if you're working in healthcare, or like I feel like a chef even, like you have to be understanding of like other people's like dietary needs, whatever, all right? But it's important to be able to like tap into both energies. So the reason why I'm saying that is because this could also be a woman who doesn't know how to be a woman. Like she doesn't know her place within herself. So this could be a woman that comes off very masculine, always ready to fight, right? Always very rough around the edges, right? So either or, this could be a very masculine woman, or this could be a man that is in your family. For some of you, I'm getting it's both. It's a very masculine woman and a man. It's two people. It's two people. Because it says Cersei and Jaime Lannister. And in the show, if I'm not mistaken, the Game of Thrones, Jaime, he was very like, he cared about his looks. Like, he was very, not flamboyant, not effeminate, but like, I guess in today's age it would be considered metrosexual, because he made sure that he just always looked clean and primp, and you know, like, he had like this flowing, glowing hair, right? And Cersei Lannister, she was like very cutthroat, right? She was very like, you get in her way, she's gonna cut you down and do whatever she can. It's my birthday. Look at the Ace of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Strength. But the Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups were more on the fence, and Strength is on the child. So I feel like you were always protected. You always had like this hug around you. That was like God always embracing you. It's like you always had love around you. You were always embraced in this hug. And this hug was just love, which is God. God is love. Love is God, right? So you definitely had God, love, always embracing you, always around you, always protecting his little baby child, his baby, right? Like, as a parent, you know, like, you always want to like protect your children, right? So that's God, right? So God is giving you the strength that you need. Hi, Pumpkin Pie. Are you stuck? Hi. So with the Ace of Cups on the fence and the Ten of Pentacles on the fence, I do feel like this is somebody from your family that was deliberately stalling things and holding back from you. I feel like I said this before, but for example, if this was like a father figure or like a mother figure, it's like they would deliberately hold back emotional connections from you, like love. They would deliberately hold back from you, thinking in their mind that would be like the catalyst to like mess you up and make you go down the wrong path, always searching for a mother's approval, a mother's love, a father's approval, a father's love, always searching for that. And it's like, in their mind, they know that if they give you that, then everything for you will be perfectly fine, right? And they would deliberately hold back the very thing that like would be like setting you off or something like that, right? It's like it was like a power trip, right? They felt very in control, very powerful, knowing that it's what they're doing is like the very thing that's like causing you to be derailed or whatever the case is, right? But if it was love, because it's with the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, it's definitely somebody in your family that was withholding love. What happened, Pumpkin? What happened to your Band-Aid?
I swallowed the pole.
You need another Band-Aid, baby. Yeah. I'll give you another Band-Aid, okay? So, hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hold on. Alright. I gotta get going. Two of Swords on the bottom of the deck, reverse. I feel like you're no longer confused about because a big part of this had to do with you not listening to your intuition, right? So I feel like that's no longer the case. You're not confused about how to listen to your intuition and knowing like how to decipher what is intuition and what is confusion. It's confusion because God is not a God of confusion. All right. But I feel like, yeah, God has always been protecting you since you were a child. Look at that. So, right? Like, look at how this little child is hugging her bunny, and then look at how Alice is hugging this doe. I feel like you were always... There's something about, like, always enveloped, always wrapped around. Like, you always had arms around you, protection around you, right? You were always given strength. Right, especially like if you were a child, like a child has like a stuffed animal for like security purposes, right? To feel, it's like their security object, right? They hug it when they feel scared, they hug it when they feel happy. Like the stuffed animal to a child is like the child's constant, right? The child, in the child's mind, like if my stuffed animal there is, if my Blinky's there, if my whatever is there, like it gives like the child a sense of like security, all right? So I feel like it was always like a security blanket, a security stuffed animal. Like you just always were secured since you were a child. For some of you, this promise is a type of security, like emotional security, financial security, like stability. You're being promised some sort of stability. That's the promise. And for some of you, if this is like a financial or like a house or something like that, you're getting it. This is yours. And somebody was trying to destiny swap this masculine in your family member, so it could have been like a father. Your father could have like tried to make sure that you wouldn't get this inheritance or this gift by deliberately trying to hold back love from you, so that way you wouldn't like be able, like you can't like handle it, or you would like miss out on this opportunity in this lifetime. I feel like for a lot of you, your father deliberately put you in a position of poverty. So like if your father deliberately made you and your like your mother struggle financially, and by extension you, it was like that was done purposely. I know that sounds really wicked, but there are wicked things in this world, and that's not even the most wicked thing. But you know, it kind of is, because especially like if there's a child involved, right? We got the High Priestess. Yeah, I told you. You're not confused. You know exactly what's going on. You know exactly what to do. You know these things. You're very balanced out with Jachin and Boaz here, right? The two pillars, the white and black, that's representative of Jachin and Boaz. The two pillars that were like the first pillars that were built to be like a temple to praise God. So you are going to be the first in your lineage to acquire something, receive a promise. All right. And I feel like if it was a masculine, like they wanted to be able to take that and be like the first in their lineage. But it's so crazy to me, because if it was your father, hypothetically speaking, if it was your father, like as a father, if you're not getting it, wouldn't you be grateful that if you're not getting it, your child is getting it? So by extension, you kind of would be getting that too, or like the knowledge that your seed is getting something, that it's your seed, it's your child, your spawn. Shouldn't you be grateful? Wouldn't you be happy to know that your child is getting something that you never got? But in this situation, that's not the case. If they're not getting it, then they're just seeing you as competition, despite the fact that this could very well be your own father. You're like your biological father. It's like this is like a parent. You don't have those parents, those weird parents that are jealous of their children, or like in competition with their children. That is the weirdest thing to me. It's because they don't see them as their children. They see them as like an enemy, a competition, right? They're like a stranger, or they don't see them as a child, their child. They see them as competition. They see them as somebody who is a threat. These are people that see their own children as threats. So it's kind of like your father saw you as a threat because you were promised something, that you're going to get something, and they needed to take out the competition, you. But I feel like with the High Priestess, you just know things, and you're very fertile. You're very abundant, too, with like all these figs here on the curtain. Those are figs, right? Figs are very popular way, 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 way back in the day. I'm talking about way, way, like beyond a time that you can like, it's just figs were like, What's a fruit that's like everybody like goes crazy for today? Apples, grapes, whatever fruit that is like popular today, that would be like the figs of back then. That's crazy too, because look, the high priestess, she's like looking at herself as a child. So it's kind of like, you know exactly what was done or what happened or why your childhood was the way it was. You know, you're able to like see why the past was the past. So this is like the story of I mean, you could be divine masculine watching this too, but I feel like this is like the story of like a woman's growth or a man's growth, the divine feminine's journey or a divine masculine's journey. Because you see, we have this child here, and then it's kind of like the teenage, and then the high priestess is like the adult. There's like three. You see what I'm saying? So it'd be like, what is it, the maiden, mother, crone kind of thing. It's like the evolution of you, right? What was that? King of Swords. So there could be somebody investigating something that's going on with this, whatever this is. So if there's like a father that tried to steal something from you, there is an investigator trying to figure that out. Why and what it was and how it was evil. It was even like able to be obtained from you, the rightful owner. I feel like something was like someone tried to take something from you. The Page of Pentacles, right, fell out. You're very patient. You're not rushing into. You just know how to like. I'm kind of here like biding your time, right? The Page of Pentacles is someone who's. I feel like the Pentacles in the deck. Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles to me is like the slowest knight in the deck, but he's also very patient, right? He's going to take his time. He's going to get things done, but he's going to take his time. Now, in certain situations, that could be a bad thing. But I feel like in this situation, you just know to bide your time. You just know to just wait, right? Like, there's something happening in the background. You just got to let it unfold as it's going to unfold. And for a lot of you, it has to do with, like, the revelation of finances, money. You just know that. You just know that there's something going on with money in the background that indirectly has to do with you. This could also have been like somebody was like withholding money from you, right? So like your intuition could be telling you this, but there's like no physical, you know what I mean? Like you don't have the physical documents or anything like that, but you just know this. I also feel like somebody wanted you to be very wasteful with your energy and your finances to prove that what is promised to you, it shouldn't be promised to you because you obviously can't handle, like if it was money, right? So let's go back to the video that I was talking about. The girl whose grandfather gave her 200,000 pounds. One of the reasons, obviously, it had to be the reason why he gave it to her is because he obviously knew how responsible she was, right? So I feel like in this situation, it was like somebody wanted you to be seen as irresponsible, especially when it comes to finances, so that way you wouldn't be given this, right? So if it's like your honor, like they're not responsible, they can't handle this, they're not mature enough, they don't know what they're doing. Look at the way they're living their life. They're very reckless, very irresponsible. You know, they can't take care of themselves. They can't rely. They're not self-reliant, right? They're always, you know, spending their money on reckless things and being irresponsible and wasteful. But that's not the case at all. They're actually very resourceful, very responsible, very patient. 4 of Wands reverse. I feel like 4 of Wands reversed on top of the poverty. I feel like it was like it was deliberately done to you. Now, here's the thing, like, so it could have been like your dad who deliberately like walked away and made things like difficult for your mother, and in turn made it difficult for you financially, right? And which caused like a dysfunctional family dynamic, and like, so now the 10 of Pentacles fell upright. So I feel like throughout all of this, you're now upright. You're able to handle your finances. You're able to maintain this generational wealth, this gift, this inheritance, right? You're going to be living a life of luxury, comfort, safety, right? Luxury, right? And it may not even be like fancy cars and clothes. It could just be like you have the luxury of time. So if you want to take a nap, you can take a nap. You know, it doesn't matter if it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night. If you want to lay your head down on a comfy pillow and with the blanket and pop on a movie, you can do that. You have the luxury to do so, right? But I feel like from out here, this was deliberately done by a father figure to like kind of like jumpstart your derailment. But I do feel like the Most High God kept you in this position to kind of like teach you how to make value, to like learn the value of finances, learn the value of time management, right? Learn the value of, you know, how to be responsible, how to care for yourself, how to be, you know, how to learn how to save, how to make $20 stretch, you know, how to not spend, and, you know, how to be grateful, how to be appreciative, right? So it's kind of like all this person did for you was just kind of like help you out. It may have been like a struggle for a very long time, but ultimately it taught you the value of things, morals, ethics, right? How to be grateful, how to be observant, right? With the High Priestess, how to listen, how to pay attention, how to, you know, be strong with yourself, for yourself, how to love yourself, right? These are just, whatever this person did, they just helped you learn the value and help you gain wisdom and help you mature, right? Ace of Wands reverse, the Hanged Man reverse. Whoever this person is, they're not able to like be in your energy. They're not able to do this. They're not able to take something from you. They also don't want to stop getting in your way. This person, they don't know how else to take what they can't take from you. I don't think it really matters anymore, to be honest with you, because the situation is over. Could be a karmic Pisces, a karmic Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I feel like these people, they're just stuck. They don't know what else to do. They don't know what else to do. And because they're stuck, one of them is going to tell you, you should watch out. They're going to like indirectly tell you who your enemy is within your family without like telling you, yo, this person spent their entire life trying to take you down. They're not going to say that, but they're just going to be like, I don't know, maybe you should, I don't know, they've been acting weird, right? I don't know. I've been keeping my distance because they be just doing weird stuff. Something like that. But you're going to be wondering, okay, but if you really pay attention, they're telling you this specifically. They're telling you this specifically for a reason. They're not going around a party or a gathering or school or a job or whatever saying to everybody, you guys, you know, this person, blah, blah. No. They're telling you this specifically for a reason. You got to figure out what that reason is, right? And for some of you, you may already know what that reason is. Like, why are they telling me that so-and-so just be acting weird and doing weird stuff and like shady and this? There's a reason. So it's kind of like, in a way, they're telling you that this person is your enemy, right? And how else would this person know that? Because this person, they're close. They're close to your enemy, right? There's that saying, an enemy of an enemy is my friend, right? So you can take it as that, but at the end of the day, that person is your enemy too. They're only telling you this because they're This person's stuck. There's nothing else that can be done. And the person that's telling you this, they're only realizing that they were on the wrong side the entire time. This is the reading. Hope it helps. It's my birthday. Bye.